Hi friends, it's Amina from Live Cycle Delight, and today I'm going to guide you on a simple yoga sequence that incorporates your BOSU ball and BOSU pods. So without further ado, let's get started. Your setup is similar to mine, long mat, BOSU in the front. If you have BOSU pods, you can grab your balance pods and I can show you how you can incorporate them into your yoga practice. We're going to get started on our backs, bringing the soles of your feet together. Great place for your pods is right underneath your knees, giving a nice little support. You're going to shift onto your right forearm, then back onto your left forearm, coming onto your backs. You want to give yourself a little heart opening right here, pressing those knees into your balance pods. If you don't have any balance pods, this is a great place for a yoga block. And if you're at home like me, you can incorporate some books. I invite you to layer on your breath, closing your eyes and coming into this space. Beginning to shift your focus to your breath and turning inward. Perhaps you find a mudra with your hands, walking those arms closer to the torso, and just pressing that torso into your BOSU for this supported Supta Baddha Konasana. Bringing that awareness to your breath, remembering yoga is a breathing class. Everything else is optional. So we're going to start with that Dirga breath, that 3-part breath, that breath that we're going to cultivate from our belly. That breath will travel along your spine, going all the way up to your sternum, where you take one more sip of air to get completely full. And then you release into the earth beneath you. We'll continue here for just a few rounds. Belly, rib, sternum. Every inhalation is an opportunity to fill up on possibility. Every exhalation is to let go and root in right here. Inhale, you take in new light. Exhale, settle in as you release something from this day. Taking a few more rounds and noticing what sensations are taking place in the body. For my seasoned yogis, now is a great time to layer on that ujjayi, that audible sounding oceanic breath. Taking 3 more rounds of this breath wherever you are. Eventually, extending that left leg, extending that right leg, rotating those ankles right to left, left to right, changing directions, eventually pressing yourself up to a seated position, coming on top of your BOSU. This BOSU is really great with lifting our hips to make sure we take the pressure off our knees. So you can have a nice, easy sitting pose and just begin to find where you are in space on this BOSU. Perhaps you want a tighter crossed leg if you have more flexibility in your hips, maybe stacking those legs, or maybe you're just here. It's also fine to be here, whatever is most comfortable for you. I do want you to find your pelvis on top of this BOSU making sure your spine is nice and long and your shoulders are down and back. Now that we have our setup, let's reach those hands high to the sky. Palms touch overhead for sun breaths. Breathing in here. Maybe those lips are still sealed. Perhaps those eyes are closed and you're exploring breath to movement on top of your dome. Noticing what this BOSU Balance Trainer does when you layer it onto your yoga practice. Let's take 3 more rounds of breath, really breathing in through possibility. Bringing those palms to heart center every time. The next time your palms touch to center, right palm presses into your side quadrant as your left arm reaches up and over. Inhale to rise. Exhale, float down. Take a side bend. These are seated side twists, eventually getting more fluid. Maybe even that right palm comes off the BOSU for a little bit more space. You are reaching up and over towards the right, making sure that elbow pit is rolled back so you have a beautiful long spine. Reach that left hand high to the sky, change sides. Going as fast or slow as your heart desires in this moment. Pausing at the top, stretching up and over, adding a little speed, shifting your gaze towards that rooted palm. Noticing where your body is through space today. Taking one more turn to the right. Coming back through center, taking it up and over towards the left. Palms connect in heart center, honoring yourself, telling yourself you are strong here. Bringing those palms to your BOSU, coming into a tabletop position, wrist on top of your BOSU, walking those palms forward to the front 2 quadrants. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the head. Exhale, spine rounds. This is your cat-cow sequence. Perhaps you decide you want a little bit more stability and walk those palms back. Inhale, lift your head and heart. Really articulate that spine here. Exhale, spine rounds. Coming back to creating space in the body by linking breath to movement. Taking 2 more rounds here. Last round before there's a change. Coming back through center. Hollowing out that tabletop. Shifting forward here. Bringing those knees a little bit closer together. Begin to rotate those hips around in a circle to the right, noticing. Then change directions to the left. Breathing here. Feeling here, beginning to get so fluid. Coming back through center, walking those palms forward, dropping your belly on top of that BOSU sign, lifting your head and heart for a supported upward facing dog. Really press into that BOSU logo beneath you, rolling those shoulders up, down, and back. As you exhale, shift those hips back, finding yourself in a child's pose. Letting that forehead rest here, shifting those hips back some more. We'll spend a few times shifting forward to create space, taking a supported upward facing dog, really pressing your pelvis into the BOSU to create space. Using this BOSU to go to where you normally may not be able to go. Exhale, shift those hips back like a wave. You're becoming fluid here. If you're at home, maybe you're going at your own pace. Perhaps that means adding on speed or letting go and slowing down to restore to something more your pace. Maybe that forehead touches the earth. Taking a few more rounds here. Breathing here. Perhaps you're beginning to build some heat here. Last time here, rolling those shoulders up, down, and back. Resetting back to a tabletop. Bringing that BOSU a little bit closer to you. Walking those knees on top of the BOSU. Walking those palms back down onto the earth. Inhale, extend that right leg behind you. As you exhale, extend that left arm forward. Shift forward, lift that right leg a little bit more. This is spinal balance here. Reach, breathe. If you're looking for a little bit more balance, feel free to walk that right palm onto your BOSU so you have your knee and your palm on the BOSU. If you need a little bit more, lift those left toes and shake, rattle, and challenge. Coming back through center, let's float both toes off of the BOSU, lifting your head and heart. Right toes drop, walking both palms forward, deciding where you would like to be. So last time we floated those right toes. This time we'll float those left toes, which means we float our right palms. So let's root in through those right toes, extend that left leg. Now reach that right arm forward. Shift into that planted left palm. Find your abs here and create just a little bit more space. So we layered on a balance challenge on the last side. Let's try that again here. Walking that left palm on your front left quadricep, lifting that left leg, reaching that right arm forward. Let's go ahead and lift those right toes. Just for a few rounds of breath, maybe those eyes close. Toes join the earth, knees drops down, palm. Let's float those toes. Round that spine. Plant the toes. Shift the hips high to the sky. Walk those feet back a bit. Lift your hips high to the sky. Just walking those palms off of your BOSU. Perhaps you push that BOSU forward a bit. Walk those palms back on. Really pressing into this BOSU here to find length in the spine. Perhaps you rise onto your tippy toes, lower down to explore. Every time you press into your BOSU is an opportunity for you to create length in the spine. Let's take a few more rounds of breath right here. 2 to 3 more rounds of breath. Eventually, we will make our way to the front of your mat where your BOSU is. On an inhale, press into the front quadricep. Lift your head and heart. Exhale to fold here. On an inhale, rise up, reach up. You're in mountain pose. Really drop those shoulders. Walk those arms by your ears. Palms touch to heart center. Listen up. Lift that right leg. Breathe. Step that right foot right onto the center of your balance trainer. Left foot follows. Reach those arms back high to the sky. Mountain pose here. Right hand grabs left wrist. Root in through both toes. Drop the shoulders. Inhale. Stretch it up and over to the right by rooting in through that right foot. Coming back through center. Opening up here. Left hand grabs right wrist. Stretch it up and over. Coming back through center. bringing those knees together, walking those feet together, finding yourself in a chair pose. Notice how good this feels on your knees. Inhale to rise. Left foot steps back, right foot steps back. Exhale, palms touch. You're folding here. Inhale, press into your BOSU. Lift up. Exhale, listen up. Walk those palms forward. Right leg steps back, left leg steps back. We're taking a knee down chaturanga. Pause. Find length, lift up, listen up. We're going to find that plank. Walk those palms to the front quadricep. Lift those hips high to the sky for a downward facing dog. Walk those feet together. Inhale, exhale, melt your heart closer to your thighs. Lift that right leg high to the sky. On an exhale, lunge forward, step it forward on the outside of that BOSU. Breathing here, feeling here, making sure that right knee's tracking over that right ankle. Perhaps you drop that left knee, or maybe you breathe here, feel here, take a twist to the right. Coming back through center, lifting that right leg high to the sky for three-legged dog. Step it forward. Breathe here, feel here. Warrior one. Warrior two, lunge a little bit deeper. Breathe. Rotate that palm to that BOSU center. Take a twist. Looking up, breathing here, feeling here, shifting your gaze towards your right foot, coming back through center, stepping back to a top of a plank, dropping those knees. Maybe you keep those knees floating. Hover here into this version of your chaturanga, pulling your head and heart through rolling onto the tops of your toes. Shifting your hips high to the sky. Perhaps you pedal out your feet, noticing, finding length. Walk those feet together. Lifting that left leg high to the sky. Drop that left hip. Breathe here, feel here. Step forward on the outside of your balance trainer. Remember, we started with that twist. Lunging into that left side. Opening here. Left hand floats down. Breathe here. Feel here. Shifting those hips high to the sky. Three-legged dog. Step it forward. Lunge here. Breathe here. Feel here. Crescent warrior. Peel that right hip back. Lunge here. Breathe here. You have warrior two. Open up. Breathe. Feel. Take the twist. Breathe. Feel, open up. Notice. Right palm floats down. Right leg steps back. Choose your chaturanga of choice. Elbows squeeze by the body. Pull your head and heart forward. Bring those big toes to touch. Reset for a child's pose. Let your forehead touch the earth. Slowly rising up, noticing, sweeping those legs around, bringing those soles of those feet on top of your balance trainer. Perhaps the heels are in your back two quadrants and your arch rests at the middle. Come on to your back. Forearm, slowly onto your back. Really pressing your abs in to the earth beneath you. Then walking those feet to the center of your BOSU. Arms are long by the body, pressing into your BOSU, lifting those hips high to the sky, maybe even interlacing your palms underneath the body, lifting those hips up, slowly coming back down. Left leg grows long, hugging that right knee in, bending that left knee, crossing that right foot on top of the left knee. Maybe you open your arms nice and wide, drive that left knee towards your face. Breathing here, feeling here, noticing, coming back through center, planting that left foot on the center of your BOSU, sliding that right heel to that left thigh crease, shifting over towards the left, rotating onto your right, or rotating over towards the right, shifting your gaze towards those right fingertips, coming back through center, driving that left knee towards your face one more time, pressing down, right leg reaches towards the sky, bend right toes, touch the BOSU, left leg crosses over the right, driving that right knee towards your face, breathing here, feeling here. Eventually coming back through center, taking that left foot towards your right thigh crease, hugging that right knee towards your chest, shifting over towards the right. Now your gaze rotates left. Noticing what's different on the right and the left. As you can see, I'm shaking. My left side is a little bit tighter than my right. Coming back through center, hugging both knees in, crossing those legs and extending those legs long, either around your BOSU or on top. You could also, in kind of how we started, in a heart opening position, walking your torso on top of your dome, extending your legs long, opening your heart here, surrendering, taking rest in this Shavasana. Eventually, wiggle your toes. Rotate your ankles. Slide your torso down your BOSU. If you are on your BOSU, hug your right knee in, change sides. Hug your left knee in, change sides. If you are on your back and not on your BOSU, you're hugging your right knee in, hugging your left knee in, rotating your head right, rotating your head left, hugging both knees in, rocking forward and back the length of your mat, eventually rolling up to a seated position. Once again, my name is Amina Daniels. Thank you so much for joining me with your BOSU for this simple yoga sequence. Please incorporate some of these movements to get your day started every single day to open your heart and your hips. Thank you so much. See you guys soon.